Hey, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of The Way I See It. My name is Chris. Today, as all every day, I try to come together with some content that people can digest about entrepreneurship, building your own business, figuring out ways of learning new things quickly, and adapting and transforming into things that are probably not something you're usually comfortable with. And today's show, I'm going to be talking about basically how families can become a business and how some channels who families get together and basically become a business. And what I'm going to talk about is about maybe 5 to 7 different YouTube channels that actually are successful providing content, getting a following of people, and having like a grassroots approach to it. So the first one I'm going to go ahead and talk about is basically Marques Brownlee. Marques Brownlee, if you're not really familiar with him, he started out as a YouTuber who just talked about technology, and now he's basically spun off since I think like since 2010, 2011, and it's here to 2020. And he's been doing a lot of like unboxing of different content of different devices like iPhones, cameras, computers, and he's also done things where he visited different venues and talked with different companies to show off their tech. And that's something I wanted to kind of talk about what people can do. Like if you're really passionate about photography and you're trying to go ahead and start a photography channel, or you want to become a really good photographer, you can actually do things where you go onto all of the different websites out there that are providing some sort of tutorials, and then you can actually go through each one of these tutorials and give your own take on these tutorials. That's all you do, If the person did it for Marques Brownlee, for instance, he focuses on just technology and interviewing people in technology, reviewing different tech, talking about what he likes, what he doesn't like, and then he's able to get revenue based on people coming to him, trying to sell different items. Well, not really. Basically he reviews it, and they kind of like give him a little cut from that. There's other things you can go ahead into too, but the reason why I brought the photography thing is because it brings me to my next topic, which was D for Darius. D for Darius is basically a filmographer. He started out with going to school for film. He's very passionate about creating film, and one of his biggest projects was Unsound, where he went ahead and he built he kind of like created, written, and like directed an entire independent movie about mental health of his mother. I think his mother has some sort of like Alzheimer's, and she's like fighting with that, and she has like these split personalities, and the whole show is really great. You can actually check it out. I'll leave a description in the below where you can actually go watch this video, where it's very great. I actually wanted to interview him and talk more about it, but he's really busy right now, and and I want to maybe find more people who are like that, because I think that his channel is a good model for building up value. Where his channel started out, where he talked about different cameras you should basically use. I even use his channel for getting. I also use his channel to actually get information on like using a camera, using microphones and stuff like that. And I think that he actually was at a couple of indie film festivals in his area. He's located in Arizona, and he's really good at talking about content and then actually like doing some film. Showing off his skills with his camera in real time, and he has a lot of good subscribers right now. I really like that type of like talk and how people act when they are trying to transform themselves and they build themselves up in front of you. That's kind of like what my channel's about, like building myself up in front of the audience, learning things, keeping myself accountable, and building myself up that way. So, and that brings me to the third YouTube channel is What's Inside. It's basically a channel where the father and their son basically just opens up, they cut things open, and they kind of show like what's inside. It's kind of entertaining for younger kids who really want to know how does the inside of a basketball look like, how the inside of a all types of things. They did the basketball, they did a coffee maker, they did a rocket, some sort of like, you know, inside. They went to even different places and got them to open up things too. And the footage that they get a chance to show that with the people, and then that's it. That's the end of the show. And the show is really popular. I think it has like 6.6 million subscribers. And you know, the father was originally like an insurance salesman. He sells insurance, and he was trying to like transition to something where he could do with his son. And I think that was one of the big wins for him. He spent all this time with his son, and it was great. I don't know how the show is doing recently, but you know, it's all on, you know, YouTube right now. You could check that out. The number 4 would be the Ace Family. Now this channel is kind of like the Real World, you know, but the show is kind of like just a family. It's basically they have 2 children, and there's a mother and father and 2 children, and they're just like their lives different. Somebody goes to the dentist, so-and-so goes to the store, different problems that goes on in their life. They do reviews of different things. They talk about, they try to like interact with the public in different ways. I think the recent video they actually have on there is something about like they got a nanny, and the nanny was like all wrong, and they kind of talk about these things. This is some of the things that are going to be transforming, where you, the viewer, is going to be able to like interact with the content that you're basically pulling up in a different way. And so let me go ahead now and move on to number 5. Let me I have to look at my list here. Okay, yeah, TSeries. Okay, so TSeries is not your natural normal YouTube channel. TSeries is it's a big YouTube channel, and like there's a whole bunch of smaller content creators that all work within India. So it's an Indian YouTube channel, and they kind of like cut out like a whole piece out of YouTube, and then like everybody can get their content through here. And it's kind of set up like if you don't like actually search for TSeries and look their information up, you won't actually get that recommended to you unless like you are looking at things in Hindi, you know. So most of the content is in Hindi. I think there is some English stuff there too. There's like comedy, music, laugh, pretty much the same things that's going on in outside of TSeries, but it's all in Hindi. If you like Indian music, you probably will like the place to check it out. But that's an idea that I was talking about too, is that you should probably try to collaborate with as many people as you possibly can. This is not going to be a single effort. It's very hard to do things on your own. And if you don't have all of the skills that you basically need. Some people are able to do that, but I think that it's great, it's fun to kind of collaborate with people. I've always wanted to collaborate with like friends and family and co-workers on different things, because it kind of puts you out there. You're forced to put your best foot forward because it's being recorded. You're not like working at your job where if you make a mistake, only your job really knows, or your boss or your team. You know, everybody works together, and like people can kind of see who they like and what they don't like, and you can probably work together with that, you know. But if you are like a single person and you want to do things together, do things by yourself, there's things like Caleb City and Long Beach Griffey. These are 2 like comedians. They've been on social media for a while, like at least a decade now. I think Long Beach Griffey has been on less than that, but Caleb City, they have like they start their videos out with like 1 to 2 minutes, and that's it. It's like a little skit, you know. Like Caleb City likes to do a lot of things that pertains to video games, anime, and like just random things that you deal with. One of my funniest videos I like of his was the how come the enemies of the anime is like always like overly epic. Like they would know things, and like they would talk about like how the bomb is in the bottles and banana. You gotta check it out. I'll leave a link to that favorite one. Long Beach Griffey, he's funny too, but the one thing about Long Beach Griffey is that I think that his show, they both are, it's only them on the show. Basically, that's not the thing. They're both separate different channels, Long Beach Griffey and Caleb City. But Long Beach Griffey doesn't really do too much games. His is more like, I don't know, it's funny, and it's like he'll do things about relationships. He'll talk about movies. He'll talk about things that are going on in the public right then and there. And he actually did a Q&A about how he goes about making these skits. And he used a regular iPhone. Like he said, he didn't really do anything too much. I'm not too sure with the iPhone, but he said he started out with a smartphone. And he's funny. I really think he's really funny. And if you, what I recommend you to start with something like that, I don't know. It all comes down to what you're looking to do. I think that what you should definitely do is start out with your passion, what you are passionate about, what you actually like about something that you can share. Like I like talking about like how business should be first, you know, and then I might take my business where I'll start actually doing things with the business. But first thing I need to learn about is talking from the camera. So that may be something you may want to do. Just start, you know, using your phone, uploading stuff every single day. Start out with like 10 seconds, 30 seconds. You know, if you are looking to go ahead and to do something that is not necessarily the norm on there, try to make sure you check out the YouTube creators channel. They'll give you a little bit of list of things that you can actually look into to figure out what's going on. But you don't have to necessarily use YouTube per se. You know, you could even go ahead and talk about like a vlog where you're just talking about your life, personal life, maybe like where you're living at, you know, and what you're doing on a regular basis. You'll soon be able to see that one thing you're doing can lead to something else, you know. And before I end this conversation, I wanted one more person I want to talk was Paul J. Lipsky. He's basically he went to school he's a lawyer, used to live in Brooklyn. He does a lot of things for dropshipping. And if you know what dropshipping is, it's pretty much like where you have a marketplace or a store online, but you don't basically store anything. You kind of put things online on your store, and then when you're ready to ship it, you go to other stores and you ship it automatically to other people. That means like drop shipping. That's what I mean by you drop the shipping part. And I followed him for a while too. A lot of these people within like 1 to 2 years took off, you know, and they kind of like just started doing things, and they're really, really passionate about that, what they're doing. And he right now kind of like does a lot of different things on this website. He doesn't have a big following on YouTube either. His idea is he talks about drop shipping, and he gets people to see him, his website and like how his market is, and then he kind of like sells these courses, you know, about these things, and which is really good model, which I've seen a lot of people do. So what you think about them? Just think about it this way, you know, what type of thing do you want to do? Are you looking to do something short term? Then this is not the platform for you. This is like, you know, from now and 10 years from now, you know, what you want to still be. If you could still see yourself doing YouTube or social media, like online business for 10 years, then maybe this is for you. But if you can't see yourself going, you know, at least 10 years, you know, then you probably aren't going to look at doing this. And you want to keep changing things, you know. You want to continue to keep looking up everybody that's doing the same thing you're looking to do and try to find their stuff, consume their information, put it on your channel. Consume the information and put it on your channel, and just continue to keep sharing information from you. You will see this wall that will get built up around you that you can basically at least say you're doing something. You know, it could lead to you having a full-time job for someone else. You never really know. But this is like your business card. This is your website. You don't even have to have a website. You could just use all these platforms as a way to share yourself. And you'll be able to see people be like, hey, what's going on? This guy's a pretty, you know, they're really passionate what they're looking to do. If you like painting nails, maybe you should just do a whole bunch of nail painting. Or if you like doing hair, you should just do people's hair on the camera. You know, don't worry about what you look like or how you feel. You have to really like actually do these things. It actually counts more when you do it when you don't feel like doing it. You know, like these videos sometimes usually get in the way of me doing other things. So I try to like think about it and write notes down and then spit it out right here. So that's it, 15 minutes. Thank you very much for listening. I'm gonna see if I can try to get this thing rolled out to you by tonight, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.